high spots and low shots. My low shot's fairly simple. Sheamus.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it almost has to be.
Lost twice in one night. One time to Tyson Kidd, and then the other time for his United States Championship to a very dominant Rusev. So the Celtic Warrior, not looking too good right now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, since you took probably the best choice for Heat of the Night, I'm going to take what I believe to be the second best choice, Randy Orton, because he lost his match and he got put out of commission for a while.
Yeah. The Viper, I think, lost some of his venom, wanted to get his
Actually,
hands on
no. You know what? I'm going to get more creative with this Heat of the Night. My Heat of the Night is the Authority, because they are literally imploding.
Well, I was going to say, first of all, don't you mean low shot, but regardless.
Yeah. I meant low shot. My bad.
I can tell you were excited though, so I let it slide. So yeah. You know what? That's a great pick.
Because now not only did they find out tonight that they were going to have to really go balls to the wall on this Survivor Series match, because if they lose their power, but they aren't going to have their strongest team available to them because they were forced to cut the head off the Viper, metaphorically, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Randy Orton struck Triple H, that's the straw that breaks the camel's back, apparently, because Stephanie just had the look on her face like, oh, you're dead. And yeah, they took Randy Orton out, and it was great. It was a really well done beatdown. And again, Rollins is really coming to his own in this role when he's owning it, which brings me to my my high spot. I have to give it to Seth Rollins. There were other worthwhile candidates that I really wanted to give it to, but really trying to be objective, Rollins, I think, had a great night here. Beats Randy Orton in their first one-on-one encounter, riding a huge wave of momentum as Mr. Money in the Bank, which not many holders can lay claim to that fact, and has a brutal, vicious segment with Orton where he takes him out with one curb stomp on an announce table, and then another one where Rollins comes off the announce table onto the steel steps. I mean, brutality at its finest. Seth Rollins is in firm control heading into the Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really got to say, dude, as a closing note before we find out who your high spot was, all of this booking of Rollins, how he's been booked these past couple of months, I can buy him as team captain for the Authority. That's the best part. Them saying that Rollins is captain in this team, hell yes, I can believe it. First of all, he was the architect of the Shield, that everybody likes to remind us, so he can man a large team. And then second of all, he's just been on a roll just as his own man. Like, I'm excited to see him captain this team at Survivor Series. It's going to be good.
Yeah. I with Orton out of the picture, I am genuinely curious who they're going to use, though. Like, we know that Rollins and Kane are going to be in it, but then who do they, Mark Henry, Rusev, maybe Triple H steps in to defend his own power?
Yeah, that would make sense as far as Triple H goes. I fully expect Rusev and Mark Henry to accept the invitations extended to them by the Authority.
I think Mark Henry is a guarantee. I'm not so sure about Rusev. I'm kind of on the fence about whether I want to believe, or not even want to, but whether I do believe that he's going to be the guy or not.
If he does, that'll be the first time that Cena and Rusev share a ring together, which will be very interesting.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's why I don't even want Rusev in this match, because how do you eliminate him if the babyface team is going to win? It'd be cool if he was one of the sole survivors for the heel team, but I don't know. Like, Rusev being in this match is a huge wrench, and I don't know if that's a wrench that I want even thrown in there. So that's all I'm really going to comment for the time being, but enough about that. Who's your high spot for this Raw?
Oh, man. I want to say Rusev, but I feel like that's almost too easy of a choice at this point. Who was your high spot? Have you picked a high spot?
My high spot was Seth Rollins.
Okay. I could say Tyson Kidd just to freak you out.
I wanted to say Tyson for myself, but I had to look at it more objectively. Though I would fangirl. But you just got to be honest with yourself.
You know what? Screw it. I'm going to go with the easy choice. I'm going to just say Rusev. He got 2 wins tonight, two wins in the same night, one of which was for the United States Championship, which is what he's been after for all of, 4 days.
Yeah.
I love how he sets his mind to something and immediately gets it.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, on a serious note, that does, I think, give him an air of legitimacy. Like, I want this 4 days later. I get it. Still hungry. Wait, different gimmick. Still want more. So yeah, great stuff. I mean, yeah, dude, it is an easy choice, but really, what other choice did you have? This is a Raw where, I mean, yeah, there were a lot of standout players, but only a few people like really, really shined. So with that said, our next segment, Raw request, and you know what, my Raw request, even though I guess it's part of like Raw backstage fallout, so it still kind of counts. Don't be afraid to do more stuff like this on the network. I personally enjoyed having a title match immediately after Raw. I know sometimes it can be an oversaturation of content, but it's a nice way to feature the mid card. And if you're not going to bother to do it on your 3-hour program, I'm glad that you've carved out this little bit of time for them. So if you'd want to do this again, I honestly wouldn't mind it. So that's my Raw request.
Yeah. Yeah. My Raw request is that I think that the WWE needs to stop trying so hard to replace guys that get over on their own.
Right.
In this specific case, they're replacing Dean Ambrose with Randy Orton in the exact story. Like, it's literally the exact same thing. Randy Orton wants to kill Seth Rollins. Like, it's the only difference is Randy Orton has significantly less reason to want to kill Seth Rollins. Like, at this point, Orton wants to kill Rollins because he's jealous, because he's jealous of the fact that Rollins is getting all of the authority's affection. Ambrose wanted to kill Rollins because Rollins stabbed him in the back and then tried to kill him by stomping his head into cinder blocks.
Right, yeah.
Like, my Raw request is really simple. Just stop trying so hard to transfer the heat from one hot baby face to somebody that you more approve of.
Definitely. That's a great Raw request because that's been a problem for years with a lot of angles.
Yeah.
And this is just the most recent incarnation of that fact. So great choice. I wholeheartedly co-sign. So with that said, we get to our main event segment, 30-second hot seat. And I'm feeling pretty pumped after reviewing this Raw. So what do you got for me this week?
Well, we already know we're getting Team Cena versus Team Authority and all that crap. But what I'm trying to figure out is what is going to happen with some of the other championships that we have in the WWE that aren't going to be involved in this 5-on-5 match. All right?
All right.
So your 30-second hot seat this week is, at Survivor Series, what championships do you think will be defended, and who do you think the challengers will be for those championship matches? You have 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
Okay, we already know Divas Championship is happening. AJ Lee versus Nikki Bella, so that's a given. I see the tag team titles being defended. Tag team turmoil. Gold Star versus Los Matadores versus Usos versus Miz and Mizdow versus the Ascension as like a surprise team in tag team turmoil. And I see the United States Championship being defended. I'm going to hope that Rusev declines, and we're going to see Rusev versus Sheamus, the rematch. So that's my answer there.
What about the IC title?
No, Dolph's already a part of Team Cena. That's been confirmed.
All right. Awesome. You got right in at 30 seconds. Perfect. Great job.
Okay, now before we sign off, I have to be that guy. I don't think anything's going to happen, but I marked out reading it, and I immediately thought of Ashton, because he's the big guy for this guy I'm about to mention here. And WWE.com was going through people that they thought should be on Team Cena, assembling Cena's Survivor Series team. One pick was Ryback. Another pick was Zack Ryder. They went through all these picks. The most intriguing pick, somebody said that Sami Zayn should be on John Cena's Survivor Series team.
Yeah.
And I just want to say real quick that kind of inspired in me. I would love, whether it was Neville, whether it was Zayn, somebody. I'd love if an NXT favorite, like a top NXT star, got the chance to represent either one of these teams, honestly, at the Survivor Series. I think that would be great exposure. So, who knows, dude? I mean, Cena has yet to fully assemble his team. He's got, I think, 3 other slots to fill.
Honestly, dude, if we're going with the NXT guy, I think that, unfortunately, I think that Neville would be the best choice, not Zayn. And really the only reason I say that is because of the handshake and kind of nod of approval that Cena gave Neville when he won the title on NXT Arrival.
Right. So,
and really on top of that, It's very, very strongly being hinted that Sami Zayn is going to win the NXT Championship from Neville on December 11th, which
Right.
kind of tells me that there's a really strong possibility that Neville's getting called up soon anyway. So if anybody from NXT gets called up, I honestly think that if anyone, it'd be Neville, not Zayn.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. But let's hope that NXT, whether it's the Ascension in a tag team turmoil or somebody representing either Team Authority or Team Cena, gets some exposure at Survivor Series. With that said, you have nothing else to say about this Raw, right? So I'm going to wrap us up.
Correct.
All right. This has been Raw. This has been TwitWow, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary Ashton. Guys, be sure to comment and discuss on Pletov. Subscribe on YouTube. Comment there as well. What did you think of this Raw? Are you liking how Survivor Series is shaping up? And we will see you again for our premiere review of Lucha Underground, where, it's going to be episode 2. We're going to see all the rosters shake out. I cannot wait to review this show. Episode 1 was amazing. We'll see you there. And until then, take care of yourselves, guys. Peace.